haircut.
It looks
Nice.
good. It does look good. Sure. Kick us off, Tom.
Thanks. I was invested. I wanted the performance. I was more interested in that than I was anything else because I felt at the Emirates when we played them, we really let ourselves down with basics. And I thought we started the game the better. We were aggressive, particularly winning our first and second balls. I thought, listen, we haven't got a striker. I had to play LJ, who's been sick all week, up top, and ask her to do a job for the team. And I thought, well, she not thought she had a tremendous game, but this isn't about LJ. The whole team were absolutely tremendous in everything they did. I think about Ev Perisay, who sometimes had a tough time with Caitlin Ford. I thought she was outstanding tonight, really, really outstanding. Um, Midfield pairing, yeah, like better team won. You know, I just loved there being a big crowd. I really did. I loved seeing the away section. I loved the whole rivalries that come with, you know, the women's game. It's growing. It was fun to see, you know, an Arsenal section sold out, and then the rest of the stadium. There was a noise to it. There was an atmosphere. I think it improves the product. We've taken a while to get to this point, and my commercial manager texts me saying, you know, I promised we'd get to this point, and I want to be able to say well done to them because I know how hard it is. Everybody's sort of like being compared to Arsenal off the pitch, but the realities are to develop a cohesive plan to sell out stadiums takes actually a large amount of time, and they'd been coming in to meet with the players almost like quarterly to explain the plan and the process. I think tonight we saw, how do I put it, like the fruits of their labour, and I know they're really happy about that. It makes the players feel better. It felt like a home game, and everybody said, "Hey, you know, Chelsea don't want to play top teams in the big stadium. We do. We just want it to be full." No, I'm really proud of the whole club tonight. She was outstanding. Yeah, of course I've spoken with her. I think it's important, you know, and this is all I'm going to say on it. I want to be clear to everybody in the room. Um, I don't want to create any more clickbait headlines for you guys. Sorry. I think sometimes that becomes the case when we have honest conversations about things. So, of course, I'm disappointed about that. Um, of course, you know, Jess and I have had a conversation today, as I have with other players within the team. They know exactly who I am, and they know exactly what my intentions were. But I have to expect that I'm supposed to be the most well trained, non clickbait headline coach, and I let myself down yesterday. I didn't think it was right for me to use the term inappropriate for the players. Nonetheless, I think when we have honest conversations about these things, I don't take those things back. But I have zero criticism of any player in my dressing room for anything, their professionalism, for what they've given to the club, regardless of their status and regardless of who they're in a relationship with. I've been unbelievably supportive of all of the players. I've, you know, been a champion for equality and for equity. I think, sadly, this has become, you know, a topic that's blown up in an unnecessary way, but I cannot control social media, nor do I wish to. But I do want to say that I have an unbelievable dressing room, and you saw tonight in the performance from everybody, they were extremely focused on things that matter. And as I keep saying to our players all the time, even if we have disagreements in life, we mustn't play them out publicly. We must have them conversations with each other because I think it's an important thing you should do in a workplace, and everybody understands that. And I think you saw from the performance tonight from the team, but everybody, is absolutely invested in what we're doing, and tremendous performance from everyone, including Jess. Thanks. Yeah. I was delighted.
I mean, is it embarrassing when you have kind of like that around the world on the sport and silly error like that happens? Is it kind of undermining what you're trying to achieve?
Because who I am, I'm telling you this now, I'm not going to throw the kit man under the bus. He is going to be feeling terrible this evening. It's a mistake. It's a mistake made regardless. He's a new guy into the position. Please don't slaughter him. It happened. If we would have had blue socks, and if this was an away game, we would have had white and blue. But because it was a home game, we knew 3 weeks in advance we'd be wearing white socks with a home team. But because we didn't have blue, I couldn't just say, don't worry about it, we'll put blue socks on, because we didn't have them. We are also in a day and age, God knows why, they cut everything out, holes, there's a whole process within all of that. So, listen, I was delighted to see lion crests on Arsenal's legs in the first half. Maybe that gave my players motivation, I do not know. But listen, it's an earnest mistake and something that poor guy's going home tonight feeling pretty crap. And as we know, and I say this considering my day, I'm certainly not going to pile in on him. Definitely not. It's a playground for her out there. We coach many, many different players. Lauren is a maverick. It's not always perfect. It's not always on point. It's not always consistent sometimes in every element of her game. But I'll tell you this much, I understand that person. And I know that when we get to Stamford Bridge, she will 1000% perform for the team here. You have to realise she'd been sick all week. She came on against Everton last week. She wasn't very well. She was sick all through the week. Came out for one training session. I said, look, you've got to go up top. You don't have another striker. And she did her job out of possession. Her and Nuskan. You could see we were in a block. We don't need me to tell you all those things. But I thought she played with joy. I thought she played with freedom when the ball came to her feet. I thought she played with... She can carry the weight of the crowd. She knows she's an important player to the team. But I thought she put a shift in again out of possession, and I know for the players behind, they really appreciate that when it happens. Yeah, and I'm happy for her. I said it before. Everybody says, "Oh, Chelsea don't want to play big teams here." It's not the case. I love Kingsmeadow, but I've always wanted a packed Stamford Bridge. Like you want it. For Arsenal, it felt a home advantage for them. Tonight, it felt like a home advantage for us. So that's why I want to give special credit to the people off the pitch for putting people in the stands, because that's our record attendance. And we talk about, we talk about, the successes of Arsenal, and of course everybody should mirror those successes. They've been unbelievable off the pitch. Tonight, I think it should be a celebration for all the people off the pitch at Chelsea to fill the stands, because it really, really made a difference for the team. Susie next. I have to be clear, she doesn't want to play centre back. We really rate her there, but she doesn't want to play there. And it's not to say she won't. But Khadijah Buchanan's an experienced international and has come back, I think, playing games in the Gold Cup. Nat's calf just hasn't quite made it. And I think Khadijah came in and did a tremendous job. When you play with Lauren James, who wonders, she's the 9, CO's job had to be to keep some sort of depth for us in some sort of stretch. I, I thought she filled in really, really well in the central areas because Lauren was linking play. That's not always easy because if you play Kankovic, Kankovic's tendencies is to go lower. So if we'd have had LJ lower, Kankovic lower, I thought we wouldn't have had a threat on the back line. And I think Kankovic is playing really, really well. But for those reasons, we played Nuskin in that position. So at least, I mean, listen, she scored a goal of her arsehole. She scored a goal. Well, she did. It's like the jammiest. Stuart said to Denise on the bench, "We've got the rub of the green tonight in terms of our finishing." And Denise said, "What does that mean?" She's American. She didn't understand the rub of the green comment. I felt it's the same at Emirates. They had 3 shots, scored 3 goals. We had 3 shots, scored 3 goals. However, we probably could have won 5-1 tonight. But you almost have to get in. You have to take your chances to get into the position where you got the momentum. And I thought Luskin has to deserve huge credit for being in the right place at the right time, even though Canwood takes a shot. It's a terrible shot. It hits her leg and goes in. I mean, Yo-Yo said to me it was going bottom corner, but I weren't so sure. Credit. Luskin is, I feel this way about all German players, but Shoka is someone who is, she's growing in stature. You see her importance to Germany, but her importance to us to be able to play in all those positions. She's zero fuss. She'll do whatever the team needs. Fantastic player.
Sandra.
Yeah. Maybe it's something I'll reflect on in years to come, but we seem to do really well in adverse situations. Like it's been a tough period, it's been a tough day for us, but we're good at this. We know how to do this. And that's why I say to you, if, I can't control headlines, I can't control all those other things. Well, trust me, that team is 1,000% together in what we're doing. And that was demonstrated in the performance. And I think tonight's performance will give the team a lot of courage. Yeah. I don't know. You look at the injuries we've got. Maybe they did underestimate us a little bit. I do not know. But I don't think you could ever rule out a Chelsea side. Ever. We haven't won these titles without suffering or struggling. We know how to do it really, really well. And sometimes, yeah, I've said it before, we've lost 3 number 9s. Like, we've lost a ton of centre backs. I have to play with what I've got. And when you've got a adaptable, versatile group that take on tactical instruction and deliver it with the most intensity, I'm hugely proud of the whole squad tonight because that weren't easy. You're trying to win at home in front of a record crowd when you're quite depleted on the back of the day we've had. That's what Chelsea is. Brilliant. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. I mean, I say this as the future USA coach. England are so lucky. Um, I really loved my time with Hannah. I said to her yesterday, I wish we had longer. I really enjoy her company. I really enjoy her journey and her story, her backstory. She's someone who we talked about, like, why Chelsea for you? I think she could have had the pick of many clubs, but she trusted me. She trusted me in the vision I had for her and the I remember watching her play one day many years ago, maybe 4 years ago, when she was at Birmingham. And I said to Stuart, I love this girl. She's going to be a top goalkeeper. And he's like, she needs this, she needs a classic goalkeeper statement. I said, I love this girl. She's going to be a top goalkeeper. And I genuinely believe Hannah has all the abilities to become the best in the world in her career. I do. And I love her spirit. I love her mentality. I think she's had a tough time, and she came to Chelsea and she's fought really hard, but she's blended in really well. And she's someone, I said to her tonight, this is what Chelsea's about. Performances like tonight. And she said, Emma, I've always been a Blue. It's always the club I wanted to play for. I have, so much pride to put on this shirt, and I think it shows in the way she plays. Really, really brilliant.
Charlotte, please.
Ooh, far. Should put my glasses on. You know what? Maybe you should ask Lauren that. But most people in our environment tend to come to me to deal with Lauren. Our physio, Laura Bettinelli, is another. I do really well with maverick players. I think if I look at the course of my career, I maybe, I don't know why, but I just deal really well with that type of player. Can I relate to her as a Londoner? Maybe. Yes, some of the things I think we get on really well. We're really close. I try to teach her all the time little bits that are really, really valuable along the way. She's not easy to manage. Serena would say the same thing. Serena and I work together to try to get on the same pages for LJ, and I think Serena and I's relationship has been top in terms of managing that. Like I said, I think you just got to put people in the right positions to be able to perform, simplify their roles. Sometimes I don't think I'm going to get it all of the time from her. I wish I could. That's the next step. But I think she's played so many more minutes than last year and at a higher level. Sometimes I think we all expect extraordinary things from her and don't get them. But tonight, I thought she was just unplayable. She was unbelievable. Not when I get a phone call at 11 o'clock at night and I've got my head on the pillow and, I've got some whatever. She doesn't always understand her boundaries with certain situations. And if she wants something, she can be extremely demanding. It might be her now, actually. It's only Cliff, the associate Eddie. He wants another couple of clickbaits from you. Yeah, do I enjoy nurturing it? I won't lie. I love LJ. I love that kid, and she can be infuriating. She can be infuriating sometimes for her team, but I love her. Oh wow, what performance! It's all down to her. She is so diligent. Her and Jelena Kankovic, they are two top pros. They come in every day. They work at what they need to be at their level. I don't think she's enjoyed some of the performances she's had against top players. She's worked at it. She's learned what she needs to do for someone who isn't that quick in certain situations. She put the same performance in against Hemp that she did against Caitlin Ford. And I think once you see Ford leave the pitch, you know the fullbacks had the better of the evening. And I think we should talk up her performance because I've seen when there's been difficult afternoons for her, and that's a real credit to her character. And she's a real top professional, one of the best I've ever coached. And everybody in our staff team will say the same. Ev Perisay, Jelena Kankovic, probably the two most unbelievable professionals in our environment. Maren, maybe groin, maybe adductor, 1 to 2 weeks, maybe next week, it might be the week after. Same with Nat, calf, maybe 1 week, maybe 2 weeks. Maramielda, longer. Millie Bright, don't think we'll see Millie before international break. Concussion, really bad concussion she took in the training environment. She took a ball to the side of her head. The concussion protocol has meant that she's got another extended period. She was available to play day before training, maybe at the weekend. She took a really, really bad ball to the head.
Last one from Sophie, and then we'll finish with Kit.
Okay. Yeah. 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 I've given everything to this football club. I've given everything to the players. I've given everything to the league. I've given everything to you guys. I leave with a happy heart about what I do. I don't need to beat Arsenal tonight to feel any better for it, but it's really nice to do it. Like, I'm happy for the players because you get humbled like you do at Emirates. Like the players know it, they know it themselves. I could feel it for them, and the dressing room was really lively because the performance lived up to what it is we talk about every day in our environment, and like for those reasons, that's the Chelsea way. I mean, listen, whoever takes this job is extremely privileged. I say this like as honestly as I can, even if sometimes it's like maybe I talk too much about things to you guys. Maybe there's something I have to reflect on. Maybe I'm too honest. Maybe I should be a little bit more like that because I feel like I've had a bit of a hammering from you guys the last 24 hours. But whatever. What I will say is, I'm leaving a really lovely dressing room, really lovely people, and what we talk about and pride ourselves on is like taking care of each other and looking after the right things. And they had a really good team meeting this week about like speak up. If you have an issue with anyone, speak up, own up, take responsibility for yourselves. And like at the end of the day, we're in charge of what we do for the rest of the season. And listen, there's fallouts every day in every environment. There's disagreements. There's all of those things. But one thing I will say honestly is even though they're there, don't ever think for 1 minute there's a crisis in our environment. I'm all about let's bring the elephants out in the room. Let's have a conversation about it. Let's be honest. Let's be earnest. Let's be adult about it, and don't shy away from difficult conversations. And I think coming through today, I know that the dressing room continues to live with the things that I've drilled over a long period of time. And even though it's difficult, like this is what makes us. We've come out the other side. Now let's go on and win something.
Final one from Kit, please.
Like I said, you report on the things that I maybe give you information on. Trust you me, like probably that much, probably that close. I mean, the socks was a brilliant story because at least for fucking 20 minutes they could talk about them and not about me and Jess.